Hi.
Welcome back to our podcast.
It's not a phase.
This is our second episode. For this episode, we're going to be talking about life after high school.
So, first off, you should know that we have not just newly graduated. We've been out in the real world for 2 years now.
I guess in the grand scheme of things, that is quite new though.
Yeah, like I'm still clueless, honestly.
We think we know things, but we definitely don't.
Yeah, also, just pre-warning, we're not experts on anything. Like, this is just our personal experiences and
opinions.
Yeah, and our opinions and what we think is advice. So, like, if we give you bad advice, that's what we got given, so just suck it up because that's what we had to do.
No. Anyways, moving on. We're going to start off by talking about friendships, as in after high school friendships, because it changes once you leave school, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel like that term where friends come and go is like meant for when you leave high school, because like you could go your whole high school time having like the same group of friends and like you're all so close, but like as soon as you leave you're all doing different things. Like some people could be moving like across Australia and stuff,
or even to different countries. We had a few people in our year who moved to a different country. But also in year 11 and 12 in Australia, I'm pretty sure most schools are like this. You become a lot closer with your whole year group, which is weird for when you leave school, because you've all of a sudden just got all of these new friends, and then all of a sudden you've kind of gone back and reverted to having just your small main group of friends.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if this is for everyone in Australia, but in year 11 we had like a retreat that we went on.
Oh yeah.
And it was like made for like us to like bond with each other and become closer, because they're like year 11 and 12 is so stressful and you need people on your side, you need to work together.
But to be fair, it actually worked. I actually really liked retreat.
Yeah.
It was like a spirit. How do you say it? Spiritual. Yeah, spiritual. That's it. What I was trying to say.
You know.
Yeah, but everyone actually did become closer, so I did enjoy that.
Apart from the food poisoning, it was great.
Did you get food poisoning?
No, but heaps of people in our grade did. Don't you remember that?
No.
Oh my God. It was really bad. Like, I had so many people in my homeroom away the next week because they had really bad food poisoning, because apparently the milk was really off.
Actually, I do remember that now. I actually do. I actually was vomiting the night that we stayed there because it was bad.
It was gross. Well, I didn't drink the milk, so I was fine.
Oh,
also,
lucky.
Do you remember that boys' cabin that, like, the teachers almost, like, caught them smoking weed? Because I walked in there and I was like, oh my God. Like,
which
I can
one?
Smell it. Well, I can't say their names, can I?
Obviously, but where? Like, anyway, different story for a different time. You have to tell me after.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
We just get so off topic on this now.
I know. Anyway, back to our story. We were talking about friends after high school.
So, me personally... No, so our group, there was mainly 4 of us that were really close.
We didn't have a big group at school, but I actually came from a bigger group to your smaller group.
Yes.
Because of things that happened. But
that we're not going to disclose, because that's just another story for another day.
And we've moved past that now anyway, so it's over with. People grow up and
yeah. But there was 3 of us that were really close at the end of year 10, and like that continued through to year 11 and 12, and then Kaylee came into our lives
and it made it so much better. I'm a party animal.
Obviously. But like obviously we still had like good friends, but like we wouldn't we wouldn't sit with them, but like when we sat at school, there was a huge guy group that sat next to us.
Yeah, so we were like the side group to the big group, if that made sense. We weren't actually, like, we were all one group, but we weren't a full group. Like, there was 2 groups within the group.
Yeah.
I think a lot of schools have that. You would know if you...
Yeah.
Yeah, people will understand.
And it's not like it was like cliques. It was just like who you were really close with and you sat with in a group.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, we didn't have like, the popular group, and like, well, we kind of did.
Yes, we did. You can't say that. We did have hierarchy at school.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did. But like, it's not like they were mean to us or anything.
No, definitely not like American schools. I just want to clear that up. In Australia, we don't have the jocks or the geeks and things like that. we kind of have those hierarchy groups, but they're not necessarily, like, it's not like, oh, we don't speak to that person.
Yeah, we all got along, like, for sure.
Yeah. And, it was just easy, especially by the end of year 12 and year 11. I think before year 11 and 12, it was a bit like, no, we don't really speak to that person. Or I would be scared to go up to certain groups and be like, oh, hi, how are you?
Yeah, for sure. And, like, you wouldn't just, like, go and sit with them one day at lunch. Like, that's just weird.
Yeah. I think now, especially after high school, it takes a little bit more effort to be able to keep the friendships going.
Yeah, no, like when you're at school, you'd see them 5 days a week, you know, like in the hallway, and like you'd hang out on the weekends sometimes maybe, but like you saw each other like all the time because of school. But obviously we don't have that right now because not everybody goes to like the same uni. Like some people are doing TAFE, some people are working full time. Like you said, some people moved to a different country or interstate, and like it just changes completely. Like at first it was fine, like we'd be like, oh, let's catch up for lunch, let's go out for dinner, let's go have a drink or something.
Yeah.
And then as we started getting jobs and studying, it's like
became a bit more irregular. Yeah. I think especially in Australian schools, especially, we graduate before we sit our HSC, so our final exam. I don't know if other countries are like that, but because we do graduate before, so we have our formal, our graduation, and then we have to actually come back to school and study and also sit our exams. So most of our time spent with one another in between that period was just studying.
Yeah, like we would have study dates, like pizza dates, like come over and study and we'll eat pizza.
I miss those days.
I mean, not the studying part, but
the socialization part.
Like literally, I can go 2 days without talking to anyone other than my family now.
Yeah, I know. This is actually kind of a different topic altogether a little bit, but I know a lot of people struggled a bit with depression after they leave school because they think they go from having so much socialization and then to having hardly anyone around. I know for a bit I struggled with that. Not so much depression, like I didn't have depression, but I was just like,
it's just
what
like,
am I?
You feel lonely or something.
And lost because you don't know what to do.
Yeah, but like that's so okay if you don't know what you want to do with your life. Like you have so long to figure it out.
Yeah. There was a lot of people in our year who really did not know what they wanted to do after they left school.
Me.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, so I don't know if heaps of schools have this, but we had like a career counsellor who basically she would like give you advice and like guide you to what career would suit you, and like you tell her what you're passionate about or what you would want to do, and she'd help you and like guide you, that sort of thing.
Sometimes she didn't do a very good job, let's admit.
I only ever saw her when I was forced to sign like stuff for subject.
And especially in year 10 when we were going to year 11, like when we had to get those documents signed. I know, other than that, I had her for a couple of years in business services, and I didn't like her that much, but each to their own. Mum actually had a go at her one day.
Yeah, I think most parents do that to teachers, hey, but especially her, because she just was unhelpful.
Yeah, she was. That was the main problem with it. Like, she was definitely just unhelpful. If we had a better careers counsellor, I think a lot more people in our year would have actually found a passion in what they wanted to do.
I think that was one of the main reasons why I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I'd always known that I wanted to do some form of teaching. I just didn't know what level. And when I finished school, I hadn't applied to any unis, nothing. Like, I just had no clue what I wanted to do. But I did community and family studies and I loved it.
We did that together. We were in the same class. How cute.
It was cute. There was a trio of us.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Rihanna. She's probably not listening to this, but anyway.
I was speaking to her the other day. I miss her.
Me too. We need to catch up. See, this is what I'm talking about. You lose contact with people who you were really close to, and you just don't put enough effort in anymore.
Yeah, it's sad in a way.
Yeah. Anyways, going back.
We get so off topic. We just go rambling.
So basically, I had no idea what I was going to do. And so I think it was in like January, I was talking to a family friend and both her daughters worked in early childcare, and I love kids, especially because 2 years ago my nephew was born, and like I love him to bits and like playing with him and stuff, like it's great. And so I was like, you know, maybe this is what I want to do with my life. So I looked into it, and at first I was like, I'm just going to go straight to TAFE and like get my Cert 3 or my diploma, but it was pretty expensive. And so I was talking to a family friend, and her daughters both did traineeships, and that's how they gain their certificate. So I looked into doing that, and within like 2 weeks I'd found a place, like I'd gotten a job.
Yeah, it was quite quick. It was very quick.
It was quick. So by February, I was working full time and studying to get my Cert 3. And I just feel like, personally for me, it's so much better because...
And it's all paid for by the company, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it was all paid for by my boss. And I was earning money as well because I was working for her.
It's a win-win.
It was a win-win. And like, just personally for me, I found it so much better because I would stress so much in high school, like when we would study for stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And with this, it was so much more balanced, and I wasn't like at uni stressing, doing all these assignments loaded on top of me. Like I'd had like a month to do an assignment.
Yeah. See, I'm on the other side of that. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I've kind of always known what I wanted to do. And that comes back to a really good teacher in high school. My textiles teacher was amazing. I can't talk about her highly enough. Like, she really encouraged me and really instilled the passion in me to want to become a fashion designer. So I actually made the decision to go to TAFE. Also, I did look into uni, but in the end, this was in like year 11 and 12. I didn't end up wanting to go for my ATAR because I was doing too many of the creative art subjects. And if you do too many creative art subjects, we all know that you can't go for an ATAR, which is great. But I probably wouldn't have gone for one anyway. In the end, I just decided TAFE's the best bet because I can get the same qualification for a cheaper price, shorter term, like a shorter amount of time, and still walk out with more practical skills. Especially in my TAFE, I had a few people in my course who wanted to, who came from uni to TAFE because they weren't getting the practical side of things that they needed. They were finding it hard to find jobs and things after uni because they only had the knowledge in their head, like they didn't have any practical skills, which is what the workplace, especially in the fashion industry, is looking for. And also, for me, with TAFE, it's aligning you up to kind of create your own business in a way. Like, you get the practical skills to work in the workforce. They teach you pretty much everything that you need to know. But I wanted to mainly start my own business, which I am doing now. And I can work from home with my course, which I love. So overall, for me, TAFE was the best option because mainly money in a way, like it was cheaper for me.
Yeah, I totally agree because like for me, money was a massive factor as well. But like, I'm not saying that I'm totally against university. Like, obviously, like further down in my career, I'm going to want to go for my degree and become an ECT, which I need to go to uni for. And like, obviously it'll help me earn more money. But like right now in my career, like I just want to like take it slow and gain some more hands-on experience before I do that, because I feel like I'd have a bigger advantage going to my degree then.
Yeah, definitely. And you can get those things, what are they called, like credits, so you get credit transfers if you wanted to go to uni.
Yeah.
So with my course, because I've just finished my diploma, so if I wanted to go on to say an advanced diploma or a degree, all of my transcript will then pass over and I won't have to do certain aspects of the course. Like I wouldn't have to start it all again, which makes it so much easier.
Yeah, for sure.
After high school, there are so many different paths that you can take in regards to your career. I mean, at our school, we had people who do gap years. We've had people who are studying at uni.
People working full-time, like...
People who are jobless even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just up to you what you want to do. I think there's not really a wrong...
There's no right or wrong answer to what you want to do with your life. But I think ultimately you need to be doing what you love and find what you're passionate about, because that's how you're going to survive and succeed in life.
Yeah, for sure. I think it definitely comes down to what makes you happy. And if you're passionate about something, go for it. Like, don't hold back. And I mean, I think there's a lot of stigma around, oh, people are going to judge me for what I want to do. And I think that was a big thing for me as well, because I thought, oh, this is kind of something out of the box that I wanted to do. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, why are you doing it like that? And there's a lot of judgment in regards to it. But honestly, if you just push through the judgment and think, oh, I'm never going to see these people again realistically, or their opinion doesn't really matter to me, then you're going to succeed a lot more than you would if you're so worried about your image, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, they limit themselves to what they can do because they let what other people think about them bring them down, which is so not okay.
I've seen it happen firsthand with a lot of people that we know. I mean, it's just so sad. Like, they just end up getting into a bit of a rut with their life, and they lose all confidence.
But that's when your true friends show. Like 100%. And like, we've experienced this, like, we have had toxic friends in our life that we had to just cut out because it was making us so unhappy. And like, I didn't want to get out of bed one day. Like people just made you feel so shit about yourself.
Yeah, it really starts to bring you down after a while. And also, the people that you surround yourself with in the long run it's going to be like what you end up as, if that makes sense. Like, if you surround yourself with a bad group of people, you're going to end up being brought down by them, and it's just going to be like a continuous cycle.
And I feel like for us especially, it was all this drama, and it was like high school drama as well that was still in our lives, even though we aren't in high school anymore. That was like bringing us down so massively. It
actually happens quite a lot. I think people get so caught up in the high school realm of things. I've actually noticed it because my partner was actually the year below us at a different school, and some of his friends still act like they are in school. Not in a bad way, but they just can't let go. Like, I've noticed that some of the people in his years still can't let go of high school drama.
I think let it go, because you'll be happier and you'll be, moving on with your life. Like, this is a brand new chapter in your life. Like, embrace it. Like, you're free.
Yeah, pretty much. The freedom after high school is probably one of the best things. It's all not just doom and gloom once you leave school. Like, there is so much to look forward to. I think personally, last year was the best year of my life.
Same. Like, I was working full time. I had money. We were going out. We were going out, having fun, like going to concerts and festivals. Like, it's just so much fun.
Yeah, and it comes down to time as well. I think everything comes down to time. But again, on that, you've got to make time for your friends in order to put the effort in. Because if you don't, the friendship ends up just slipping away.
Yeah, and like, we've had that like with so many people now. And like, I know, like, you'd invite people to like your birthday celebration or something, and they'd be like, oh, I can't come, and that's like the start of it for me, I reckon, and then it just goes all downhill.
Yeah, but also, like, people do have legitimate excuses and things like that. It's not just, oh, I'm not coming because I don't want to. As I said before, I think it just comes down to how much effort you are willing to put into the friendship. I remember sitting at school one day and one of the teachers said to us, these friends that you have now will most likely be at your wedding. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah,
we're in an assembly. But it's not necessarily true. I mean, like, I think if you've got really close friends, like, say, Jordan and I, then that's true. But we put in a lot of effort into our friendship. I'm so proud of how much effort that we put in. It's like we're not on top of each other by any means, but we do put in so much effort to stay in contact and just be around one another.
And like, we've only been friends for 4 years. I lost a friendship with someone I knew since we were 5 years old. And I felt like it was so one-sided, and it was all about them. Like, they were so attention seeking or something, and that's where all the drama revolved around, was this person. And like, at the end of year 12, I was miserable because of that friendship. Like, we were fighting. Like, she didn't care what I had to say. Like, I was going through some tough things with my family, and it was just, like, awful. I was like, you're not listening to me. You don't care. And, like, my formal, I hated it because I was hanging out with a different group. Like, I was still talking to Kaylee and Sophia, but yeah, I was just miserable. And, like, we managed to patch things up, but not to the way it ever was. And then
it didn't go back to how it used to be.
Yeah, and then another incident that was really bad happened with her, and I was just like, I can't deal with this drama and this toxic energy anymore. Like, I can't have you in my life.
I think on that as well, in friendships, you've got to be honest with yourself and with each other. You've got to really, if something's bothering you about the friendship, you've really got to speak up. Like, it's your duty in the friendship to say something, because at the end of the day, you're doing it for your friendship. You're not doing it to be nasty or anything like that. You're doing it because you want your friendship to last. Like, you've got to just be honest with one another.
And I was 100% with her when we reconnected about that, and she didn't listen. She brought the drama back, and so, like, I just had to cut it out.
Some people are just surrounded by drama, and you can't do anything about it, though.
And honestly, it's not her fault. It's everything she had experienced, her upbringing, and I feel like it's taking her a long time to accept that.
Yeah. Another part of the friendship is encouraging your friends to change for the better as well. I mean, you don't really want to just be stuck. Like, you want to grow with them. Yeah. You don't want them to just float along how you've been floating along, because you want to develop and you want to progress in your life.
And you want them to support you. I feel like that some friendships we had, we weren't supported with our dreams and things that we had planned, and that also brings you down. Like, you're like, oh, I'm not good enough, like, what I want to do isn't good enough, like, why do I even bother? But ultimately, you need to be around people who love, support and care about you, because ultimately, once you finish high school, if you're graduating this year, or you graduated last year, or even when we graduated 2 years ago, you need to be doing what's good for you. You need to enjoy your life, and that's ultimately being happy with who you're around, who's in your life. And
that's, sorry, I'm just going to butt in. That's not necessarily one group of friends. Like, for me, I've got 2 main groups of friends now, because I've ended up creating a whole new group of friends outside of school, which is something to look forward to. Like, I have so many new friendships that I've formed through TAFE, through my partner who I met after school, just through so many different things, and I'm so grateful for all of those people in my life, and all of those different groups of people have taught me so many different things. Like, for instance, my friend group from school, I can 100% rely on them and, like, tell them everything, and I'm just so grateful for them. Other friend groups that I've made through my partner, like, I've only recently just made this friend group at the start of the year, but I feel like we've been friends forever. Like, they're just so comfortable to be around and everything like that. So, I don't know, different groups of people and friendship groups are for different times, and they come into your life at the right time when you need them, and I think that's so important.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, I've formed 2 really good friendships with girls that I used to work with in my previous job that I just finished. And, like, it's that friendship where we could go, like, 2 months without talking, and then, like, we go out and we pick up straight where we left off. Like, it's great. I love them to bits.
Yeah. And it's all about socializing with new groups as well. Like, I wouldn't have even thought that I would be friends with so many people now. Like, I've got more friendships now than I did when I was in school, to be honest. And they're so much, like, they're better quality friends. They reach out and ask me how I am and things like that. Whereas at school, it was kind of like you just saw them every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess just to sum it up, we just want people to take away from this, just, like, to go and enjoy your life. Like, you need to do what makes you happy, do what you love, be around people who support you and care about you, and start this new chapter in your life.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, going back to the last episode, I said that we're going to set you a realistic goal for getting your license, because, to be honest, it's gone on for too long.
It's becoming an issue, guys.
It actually is. It is becoming an issue. So, I think what do you think a realistic goal is? I think by your 21st birthday, you should have your license.
I think that's good because it gives me 11 months.
If you don't have it in 11 months, honestly, what's going on, girl?
Oh, okay, look, I am one of those drivers where my parents were like, no, we need to take you on back roads. We're not going to throw you out first, which I wish they had not done because driving scares the shit out of me.
My mum has offered to take you and everything because we want you to get your license. So I think by your 21st birthday, that is a good thing. Doesn't it expire? Like,
it expires July 13th next year, and then I have to resit my L's.
Well, you're going to have to get it before then. So that's the plan, guys. She is going to get her her P's. Sorry, she's got her L's. Her P's before her 21st birthday.
And you guys have to make sure that I stick to this and stop my old habits of being...
So, Diane, if you're listening, take your daughter for drives.
I'm not going driving with my mum. She scares the life out of me. She thinks I'm going to kill her or something.
Well, I'll probably I'll have my full license before you even get your P's, I bet.
Yes, and then you can take me driving.
I can. I'll get because I get my full license in February.
Oh, keen as.
And then I can take her driving. Oh my gosh, we should do a podcast about me taking you driving. That'd be so funny. Okay, sorry guys, we're getting off topic again. So, for next week's episode, we are thinking about talking about...
fitness and health. Specifically, our experience with it. We are in no way, shape or form fit and healthy.
No. We like junk food way too much.
As I learned today when I had to go for a medical workup for a job. That was so embarrassing. But you can find out more about that in next week's episode. So make sure you tune in because we're going to be talking about different workouts that we've been trying out.
Yes. Especially Chloe Ting. You may have seen a rise in social media of Chloe Ting, the queen of fitness at the moment. Jordan and I are in the middle of an intense...
ab workout and core workouts.
Yeah, it's like a challenge. And let me tell you, the first time we died, but we'll talk about more about that in our next episode.
So make sure you tune in next Wednesday
at 5 p.m. We're going to be posting from now on at 5 p.m. on a Wednesday.
So thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.